And without any further ado, I'd like for you to help me invite our guest for this afternoon, Madam Cyrene Drive, General Manager Ola. Come on with a loud clap. I'm not seeing you clapping. You're not clapping very well. Okay, I think our mic is here. Keep doing it until she arrives. Keep doing it until she arrives. Please. You're welcome. Please have a seat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. You are a busy lady and your time is precious.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we honor that piece. Thank you so much, first of all, for making the time to come to the AfriFueling Expo. Our discussion today is just a conversation that is on where we are as Africa,
Yes.
how the global transition looks like, and what are the African realities. But even before that, I mean, you can give us a brief background of your presence in the industry. I know you've worked all across Africa, in the north, in the central, in the west. Please take it away.
Okay, John, thank you very much and welcome everyone. I'm very honored to be a speaker in this AfriFueling Expo 2025. Cyrene Drive, I'm currently the General Manager of Ola Energy Kenya. I have more than 23 years of experience in oil and gas downstream industry. I started working with the Total Energy Group in various positions, and I was expatriated and worked in the 5 continents across 50 countries around the world, and then joined at Ola, Group Ola Holding, since 6 years now, where I was General Administrator of Ola Energy Cameroon, and then this year, I'm the GM of Ola Energy Kenya, one of the leading oil and gas company and the 4th major in Kenya.
Wonderful. That's incredible. Maybe for the fact that you've worked in West Africa, you've worked in a bit of North Africa, and now you are in East Africa, what can you say are the differences that you've seen between West, North, and East Africa?
Well, when I came to Kenya, I was really impressed by the level of development. I can compare Kenya with Dubai, Dubai of Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I can, yes.
Yeah, you can clap a bit.
Yes, indeed, I was really impressed by the technology, the industry, the development even in the real estate, in the retail area, the shop and food businesses around, the non-fuel business around the stations. This development, I can compare Kenya to South Africa only, and it's even more development than even North Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I said that. And I traveled a lot, and I have some North African origin.
Yeah.
I have Tunisian origin. So I'm really proud to be in such a development country like Kenya.
Wow, and allow us as the industry to welcome you. I think when we saw that you're joining the industry, we were very happy and very glad. So feel most comfortable. I think we have a vibrant industry here in Kenya, and I think your experience will continue to enrich it. But having said that, we are sitting, especially now that you've worked in top levels and across different distribution supply chain. What are the global realities of this energy transition, especially touching on the transport sector?
Okay, thank you, John. So when we speak energy transition, we speak electricity, we speak mobility, we speak sustainable fuel, and I would like to emphasize my presentation on the landscape, the energy landscape in Kenya. What I can see, Kenya is really investing and look into a long-term LPG strategy. Kenya is as well focusing and innovating in electricity and renewable transition. When I see electricity, when you can see electrical battery swapping station, electricity charging point for the electric car, that Kenya is encouraging even mobility and solar. So I would like to start with LPG and the energy landscape in general. So as you can see, we will start with the challenges. Definitely, Kenya is far development and among the most developed African country is the energy hub for Africa and for Eastern Africa. And it's known as the energy supply hub for the eastern part. So the main challenges that we are facing is mainly we need to ensure that energy accessibility is in the whole part of the cities in Africa, and mainly the rural areas. Because some of the rural areas still depend on biomass. We can see some charcoal being used. So we need to ensure that fuel supply cover all the areas, all the regions for the rural areas. And we can ensure that LPG is provided in all the areas for clean energy. Why? Because LPG is considered as the cleaner and most efficient fuel source compared to wood, compared to charcoal that are using for cooking, for heating, and so on and so forth. So energy, we think that as OMCs, as part of the energy industry, we are pushing and investing into LPG. We are importing LPG, and the government has a long-term LPG growth strategy. By bringing cylinders, he is encouraged. Kenya is one of the fewest African country that is manufacturing LPG cylinders.
Yes, we are.
Which is not the case in other countries, where we are depending only on importation, which is a very big strength. Then we have infrastructure to import. Now we are moving to OTS, which will bring the LPG at a lower premium, which is very good.
Yeah.
And as well, it's encouraged all the OMCs like us. We are importing LPG cylinders and investing heavy capex to import LPG cylinders. So LPG, I think, and making accessibility and how we can fight this poverty, how we can ensure the access to energy from these rural areas by investing into, like we have thought, LPG containers.
So you feel that actually driving investment towards the rural side and the much inner regions in the country will drive more energy access, and you're saying that is where you see the challenges but also an opportunity to drive investment.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we, not only that, we have thought as well, this is regarding LPG, because we see that as a clean energy, less polluting, and even for the health of the consumers. So accessibility, proximity to the customer, availability of the product are key. Then we will move to electric, okay? So we can see that we have most of the motorbike not using fuel, not using PMS.
And that's really interesting that you've mentioned electric. Maybe even before that, when you compare what's happening on the global stage, there's a lot of worry with petroleum businesses wondering, how do we adopt electricity? Are they coming to push us out of the market? Are they complementing with us? Do we see it as an opportunity? Do we see it as a threat? What do you think?
I think we are moving forward together a cleaner energy. I think there was a forum of climate change here in Kenya last year. I think Kenya is among the most developed country that is looking how to use clean energy, clean energy meaning solar, meaning electricity, and even biofuel. When I see, just to tell you, Kenya generates 80% of its energy from renewable sources. So I'm very proud to be in this country, which is, may I say, one of the leader in climate and climate change and energy transitions. So it's using geothermal, hydro, and solar.
Yes.
When I go to electrical, for us, Ola Energy, we have battery swapping stations in 12 of our stations, and you are aiming to implement, thanks to a partner called Arkwright, battery swapping stations.
So you are seeing that that will be one of the segments that will really grow.
Definitely, because Kenya is encouraging energy transition. Kenya is believing, and the industry is believing on the clean footprint energy.
Yes.
So, which is less emission, solar as well. We can see we are investing as well in solar panel in our retail station. So, for the station that Ola, for instance, I take my example, that we are having this battery swapping stations, we are equipping them with solar. So that the battery
is charged.
Is charged through the solar.
Okay, so you are harvesting it, storing it in batteries, and
Exactly.
so that's a completely different supply chain. With the molecule, you had to get the truck from the depot to the station. Now you're getting it from the sun to the battery and to the consumer.
We are innovating. We are completing the offer. We are having fuel. We are having PMS, AGO, kerosene. For sure, we are selling lubricants. But we are trying to embrace the new trend of energy, which is as well the renewable, the solar, the electrical ones, trying to follow up the trend.
And speaking to your point, I think battery swapping will work because, as I said, Kenya has about 2 million motorbikes,
Yes.
right? About 2.3 million. That's 40% of all the vehicles we have on the road. So if you look at it on a business side, do you see that it will reduce the income from, the petroleum forecourts, or do you think the charging solution will complement, or how do you think about it as a business person? Because I think that's the question. Somebody's wondering, okay, fine, this used to be my customer that used to buy PMS. Now they want charged batteries. How does that look in a business sense?
I think for now, to be realistic, it's complementary. I don't see all the fleets of car and transporters using only electric or solar. So it's complementing, but it's good because we are looking at the future and trying to look to alternative solutions, less polluting. And Kenya is among the countries that are leading this energy transition.
Yeah,
because in other countries, you don't have this. You might have a solar panel station, but you don't have this electric hubs for battery swapping. You don't have that much electrical car. Because when I see EVs now, electric car vehicles are almost 4,000 vehicles in Kenya. And the government is encouraging through tax incentive,
yes.
Through initiative to encourage clean energy, which is amazing. We can see that Kenya is advanced rather than other countries where in Central or in West Africa. Even in north, I don't see really electrical car or electrical swapping. There are some electric charging,
station,
but not as much.
Uh-huh.
I think here it's
And I think Kenyans are known for innovation, like even the way we started with M-Pesa.
It's amazing.
And quickly we pick it up and we use it. And I think, to be fair, that battery swapping, we've been swapping things for a long time. We swap bottled water at home. With that 20 liters, you take it home, you use it, and you take it back. We swap LPG with the cylinders. Yes. Now we are swapping batteries on the motorcycles. I think it's a common concept that we've already adopted.
Yes, in fact, Kenyans are very keen to technology. Kenyans are educated. They are they like cleanliness. They are really concerned about environment. I never see a country, big city like Nairobi, in which you can have a forest and people caring about the environment. So I praise Kenya for that.
Oh, that's a good place to clap. That's a good place.
This being said, regarding technology, I was impressed that Kenya has a big, middle class. Middle class that are educated, they have the mean consuming. But as well, Kenya is concerned about, the rural area where people are in more need. So we have created, that pay as you consume for LPG.
Yes.
And then they pay depending on they access energy. So all this is mobility, energy access, and really thinking on how to ensure that all Kenyans have access to mobile and clean energy instead of biomass. Yeah.
And since you are a builder of stations and you have a large retail network, with the population growing, because we are geared to move from 55. Actually, Kenya grows with about 1 million people every year. So how do you think the future will look like, even for the petrol stations and the forecourts especially? How do we get ready to serve the future generations of tomorrow?
Well, the Kenya retail landscape it's evolving and being developed every day. So now we have seen solar station equipped, retail station equipped with solar panel. It's something very common. We can see houses, compounds with solar panel. We can see as well electrical battery swapping station we spoke.
Yeah.
But we have spoken about LPG. And we can see now a new innovation coming that is auto gas station. And Ola Energy very soon will be launching auto gas stations.
Wow, did you hear that? You heard
with
it fast.
conversion centers.
Yeah.
So it's not only us, but we are really embracing the innovation and the energy transition world through this auto gas.
So let me stop you there for a bit. I did a tour in Turkey, and I realized they have about 7 million cars using LPG. So do you think that's a future we can have? Do you think, what do you think are the gaps that might probably make Kenyans not adopt autogas? Is it because they don't know about it, or what more can we do?
I think that we have now some autogas stations available, and LPG autogas is more affordable and less expensive, okay? And I think it's less polluting, and it brings the same path for the energy transition for cleaner energy. So I think some Kenyan understood, Kenyan like innovation. They like environment. They care about environment. And they care about environment protection. So I can see lot of cars being converted into autogas. And you have professional center. This is not new. You see in Turkey,
Yeah.
in Tunisia as well, Autogas
Oh, in
started.
Tunisia?
Yes,
Okay.
in Tunisia, Autogas investment and conversion center started in the 19th. So something is working,
Oh, wow.
and something is efficient. So yes, I think that knowing that Kenya like innovation,
Yeah.
like new
Yeah.
energy transition.
Yeah.
So yes, they will go through these autogas solutions
Wow.
as a complementary, because when you have your car working with autogas, it can still go with fuel as well.
And
so you can have this hybrid solution
yeah.
to supply your car.
And I think sometimes it's a chicken and egg question, where people are thinking about converting their vehicles or upgrading their vehicles, but then they're asking, where am I going? They also have range anxiety. They're wondering, if I drive out of Nairobi and I want to go to Kisumu, for example, or I want to go to Nakuru, I can't find a station. What do you think we should do more of? Should we do more of conversions, or should we do more of building the stations first? And should the industry be more patient with this new technology?
I think that like every innovation, there is, the start point, and it will get to maturity. Because definitely, most of the OMCs are looking at Autogas. There will be investment. They are keen to invest, and they are keen. We cannot say energy transition needs to go by the availability and proximity to the customer. So definitely, when we are offering Autogas, we will think by being close to the customer, by offering our station, Autogas station, to have the station close and available to the customer, so that we can ensure that he can fuel in the east, in the west, in the coast area. We need to ensure that. And definitely for some Autogas, some Autogas station or some Autogas solution creates that you can only buy from that provider through, a specific tank technology.
Yeah.
However, if we want to to ensure proximity and more availability of the product, and in all Kenya regions, we need to ensure that as you can buy from that station, you need to go to the others.
So interoperability, like you
Yes.
need to be able to open the network
And
so
to
that
be compatible to all.
to be compatible to all, so that you don't say, oh, if you have this technology, you can only fuel enough. And you can understand from a business sense why somebody would do that. They're probably trying to protect their investment. But you're saying that if we all grow, if the market grows, then it will mean much more business for the industry. And I think that's a wonderful point to put out there. So if you were to snap your finger and have something change within the investment profile, because like you can see in this Expo, we have so many companies that have come from China, from Europe, from South Africa, and they're looking at Kenya being a gateway, not just for the Kenyan market, but for the East African market. So if you could snap your finger and say, if this one thing changes, Kenya will really skyrocket, what would that thing be?
I think Kenya is the gateway for innovation, for new technology, for automation, let's say, when I say automation, for dashboard, for follow-up of the product, oil and gas, for the fuel, for the lubricants, and as well for the gas, for the electricity, for the solar. What can be changed is more automated. We can go through more renewable energy, more auto gas stations, standardization, and especially having like standardization of the retail landscape through all Kenya. Whether it's major or independent, the standards are the same.
But Sarin, there's somebody who would say automation means less jobs. And in this market, people need those jobs. Do you see automation as a challenge for job creation in that people may lose their jobs, or do you see it as an enabler to create more jobs?
I think that we need to speak complementarity. Currently, human being is good, and we cannot separate in Africa from employees and human being like this in one day. That's not possible, because we believe that some tasks need to be done by employees. Automation goes with supervision. So we need to have people that are supervising the oil and loss, the stocks, the gauging, to check, okay? Because we are embracing automation for sure. But if somehow electricity is not there or internet connectivity is down, we need to have these mitigating solution. So we need still to have people to go and check our tanks today, because if we have, for instance, a leakage or some losses that are not explained, because, okay, the sensor will tell you these losses are there, but you need to explain. A human being is still there. We need skills, we need competencies to analyze the results, to maintain the equipments in case of any problem. We need as well people to look at the figures and to ensure that everything is going well.
Wonderful. I know you had a hard stop because you have someplace else to go. So if you permit me, we'll do one or two more questions, and then I'll allow maybe a question or two from the. So if you have a question for Ms. Siren Drive, make sure you put up your hand. I would need a mic to be moving. My sound team can assist me with a mic so that at least we can get the questions going. But you've spoken so passionately about innovation. And I know that's not the only thing you're passionate about. I read a bit about you and I saw your passion for children and the work you are doing in Cameroon, especially with the orphans. Are you likely to pick a new passion while you're here in Kenya?
In fact, I'm African, I'm half African, half Tunisian.
Yeah.
So in Kenya, I always loved this country and always dreamt to be here.
Wow.
And since I'm here, I'm taking care of the orphans, but by myself.
Wow.
So I went to Mama Saadia orphanage. I'm helping them, and I'm continuing helping them on a monthly basis as Sirin Drive. I think that in my personality, if I'm in a country, I would like to give to the others, either starting by my team, upskilling them, coaching them, pushing them to the best. Then to the others, students. I was in the Wings to Fly program with Equity to really coach the student and train them, to upskill them as well. Because I believe in training, I believe in education as a pillar for Africa to grow and to develop its community. And for the deprived persons, for me, I'm really lucky to have a house, to have a job, but I really want to give to the others, to the deprived persons. I really think that I'm so happy to give to them.
Wow. And that's a good place to clap.
And I was not advertising because, my company was going under restructuring. So I was doing it by myself on my own name because these are one of my core principles and values. But very soon you will see Ola Kenya as well engaging into CSR activities.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. That's beautiful.
So it's already done for Kenya and I will continue doing. But when you do charity, sometimes you want to keep it secret because all you want is God's blessings.
Wow, that's a nice way to put it. And you spoke so powerfully about education, and we have so many students from Kenyatta University, and I would like to, especially for the ladies who are looking up to you and are saying, one day I would want to sit where Ms. Siren is sitting, and I'd want to grow in the oil and gas sector. You are named one of the most influential oil and gas women, top 100 women in Africa. You won that award. What can you say to them?
Indeed, I'm very glad to be among the 100 most influential women in the oil and gas downstream industry. And I think behind that is a lot of work, resilience, challenges, dedication, and believing in, believing in the people with whom you are working, because you don't work alone. So you need to make this energy contagious to your team. You need to make them believe in objectives. You make them believe in the long run. And you need to make them, concerned and involved and work as a team. And this is amazing because I did that in Cameroon and I'm doing that in Kenya. And I found Kenyan really keen to work, really believing. So we are having a team building on the 9th of May where we will be sharing, brainstorming together, thinking about our strategy as one team, one family to achieve our goals. I think as a leader, no leader will go far alone. We will go far together as a team and as a believing in solidarity, in one objectives, and everybody bringing its know-how, its idea to get the company successful.
Wonderful, my goodness. Before we let her go, who has a question? Do we have a microphone already moving? Do we have a roving mic? Because you've heard she's among the top 100 most influential women in oil and gas. All right, maybe you could use mine. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna answer we'll start with Amara, and then we'll go to Ngomeli. So we'll do what? We do three? We do three questions?
No problem.
All right, okay, so we can take three. I think there's Amara there. Oh yeah, there is a gentleman from Vivenge there. And then, oh my God, people want to talk to you. All their hands are up. Let's start from Amara here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you too?
I'm good. First of all, it's really refreshing. One, to see a woman speaking about our industry. Secondly, to have light actually shining on our industry. It's very low right now. And my question is, or in my opinion, I think that LPG and alternative fuels are the gap that we need to bridge before Kenya gets to the electric transition. And I feel like we don't have that infrastructure yet. Therefore, this is the best alternative for us to get there. For you, in your opinion, what do you think is the reason why people don't believe in transitioning with these alternative fuels? We're very quick to jump to electric and transitioning into electric, but why don't people believe in going through this transition of these alternative fuels before getting to the end of the ladder? I don't know how to put this.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your question. As we have said, energy transition, it will take time. It's not from one day to another that we will switch from fossil fuel, and AGO and PMS and kerosene to electrical or to other renewables, right? Or hydrogen. So there is research and development. But in this transition and looking to the environment friendly, energy, we think that, for instance, something that is changing in the energy landscape in Kenya is autogas. And you can see some of stations, we can say we can have 20 or 30 stations so far that are selling autogas, but as well having conversion center. So the trend is there. Electrical as well, you have electrical charging, you have more than 3,700 EV, which is, you have all the government incentive measure to import EV. So things are moving forward. And I can tell you it's fast. If you compare to other African countries, because I was working on other African countries, and it's not the same pace of transition and embracing new technology, which is very encouraging. And that's why I said, okay, Kenya is one of the leading countries in energy transition and caring about its climate and environment. So really I'm proud to be today in Kenya and see such energy transition happening. Thank you.
Hello. Oh, yeah.
Is it working? Okay,
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
working.
Okay.
Thank you. My name is Adrian. I'm from Vivenge, Poland. We came here from Europe, so we are very excited to hear your energy about your energy transformation. And as you may guess, in Europe we do not speak about population growth in next 20 years. We rather speak about the population decline. Yeah. So my question, referring to the market, is about how do you perceive what is the market size and the cap for the number of filling stations in Kenya? Because what we observe, for example, in Germany is like there's 14,500 stations, and they just open like 1-2 stations per year. Yeah, so the market is saturated and there is not much growth. It's stable. So when you speak about the population growth by 90 million in 2050, yeah, so do you have any kind of estimations, data, and how you imagine the market size in filling stations in Kenya? I understand this is a complex topic, yeah, because a lot of changes. But do you have any numbers you can share? How do you see that? Thank you.
I think, yes, currently there is always opportunity to invest. We spoke about rural areas. The beauty of Africa and African countries is because the growth is here. The growth is in Africa. Europe, it's stable, or we are facing some recession. So growth is in Africa because the demography is increasing. There are still way and areas to be developed, whether in industrial, in the rural areas. So there is always an opportunity to grow, either retail or other energy solutions. I went to the Western Kenya, to the very far of Western, to look at sugar industries. And I was impressed by this rural area having big and developed industry manufacturing company for sugars. So I'm not surprised that tomorrow we have more an industrial hub in this rural area, and we need then energy, we need station, and we need to invest and develop more. So I think that growth is there, industry is there. Definitely it will need to be accompanied by energy sources, either whether solar or electrical, but definitely I can see only development happening.
That's an incredible question, and I'll add that as incomes are rising, we are not a highly motorized economy. We have very few cars, but we foresee as our incomes grow, the vehicles per 1,000 people will trend towards 100 probably, from where we are at 43. That will demand many more stations. So we usually build maybe around 20 stations to 30 stations a year. So if you do that projection, you can see where it lands you. I think we
would
have
like to
time.
add something.
Sorry?
Something else that shows how much Kenya is developed compared to other countries. I went to a seminar regarding South-South cooperation, South-South and triangular cooperation. And Kenya was seated at that time. I was in Cameroon, but I was invited in Italy by the Konrad Adenauer program, where we spoke about the automotive industry, and you can see the assembly in vehicle assembly manufacturing company that are in Kenya. It's something amazing. So many brands. This is not happening in other country in West or Central Africa. they are importing or bringing second-hand, importing new vehicles. But manufacturing, industrial, I think there is a way to go and way to develop. And I think that even EIA, Middle East, is looking at Kenya as a hub for industry, a hub for fuels, energy supply, a hub to develop. So growth, retail landscape growth can only improve, and we can see only development, even for a mature market. I agree the market is mature, but there is always way to see niches and area of development.
Thank you. Thank you for that elaborate answer. I think we're going to take one more. A lady behind there. Oh, there's a gentleman there as well. Please keep it short. This will be the last round of questions. And then we had Nkomeli. But can we begin with the lady behind there? Then we bring it to a close. All right, thank you.
Hi.
Please say your name, where you're from, and then ask your question.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Ongoma. I work at Discrete Fleet Management. So I have a question. I get to hear you guys saying how much there's growth of income, or there's going to be growth. But we need to act on it. Do you guys have an initiative or programs that can actually promote local manufacturing of the electric vehicles, which would increase the cost of, how would you say, it would decrease the cost of manufacturing and also promote jobs? Are there programs like that?
Okay, I think you got the question right?
Yes.
Okay.
So how to decrease the OPEX through energy? Yes, we have developed, blending technology to make, to reduce the consumption and to increase the interval of oil change to ensure the productivity. So, for instance, as in Ola Energy Kenya, we have a blending, an LOBP blending company that manufacture all type of lubricants, that even supplies not only Kenya, but the Eastern region. We are very proud. So we have a research and development center. We have a laboratory which is certified ISO 9001, where we ensure to produce lubricants for international brands, but also all our lubricants. Please note that we are as well the authorized distributor of ExxonMobil. So in our lab and the lubricants that we are providing, before we do a loop survey for our customers, which is industrial, we take samples of lubricants, used lubricants, we analyze, we look at the metallic, okay, and which kind of lubricants can help him to increase the productivity, to ensure proactive maintenance, reduce the downtime, and ensure that the interval of oil change is increased, so that we ensure the productivity of the industry or the fleet of vehicle or the haulers if it is transport company. By that, we do two things. There is direct savings by giving a good price, definitely. But as a professional and a professional company which has a long legacy in oil and gas services, in energy, providing the right lubricants, the quality lubricants for the long term, is as well ensuring the after-sale service, which is analysis, sampling, providing the right survey of lubricant, following each equipment, and ensure that what we say energy efficiency audit by equipment. Whether it is a crusher, whether it is a heater, whether it is a hauler, so that we ensure productivity, reduce downtime, and ensure the savings. Thank you.
Yeah, that's you can tell she's a real manager. She understands the business processes down to the wire.
Thank you.
We heard it's going to come from Gomeli?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Karibu sana,
Asante
Kenya.
sana.
Very good. You have answered nearly 3/4 of my question, but I think one area that will really require a lot of your support is in the last mile of LPG. The country is struggling. I see you have experience, your company has experience in LPG in Africa. So and also putting agenda focus, because LPG in Africa, the biggest impact will be the women. But I think when we are discussing across the road there, I think it's another affair. I come from an industry where we run one of the biggest gender programs in the energy sector. So I think your support in LPG last mile with a gender focus and your experience will be very important for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yours was more of a comment than a question, right? Or there was-
It turned into a comment. Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, it looked like it became more
I
of a comment.
appreciate your comment, and you will see definitely more auto gas stations for Ola we will be launching, and even in the retail landscape, because this is part of as well making energy more affordable, more close to the customer, and more available. So you can count on us, and definitely Kenya is the right energy hub for energy transition. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The final one was there, and that will be the last question. That will be the absolutely last question. Then if my team is ready with what they need to do, they can be getting ready. But please go ahead, stand up. If you don't mind, you can introduce yourself so that we hear you properly.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Dennis. My question is on safety, and I understand that there have been a lot of progress in the LPG safety during transportation and all that. Actually, there was actually even of doing double layer of the tank, but my question was...
can you hold it closer to you so that, or if they can increase the volume? We are struggling to hear you.
Oh, I'm saying that my question is about safety, especially in when we are transitioning of the autogas to the PSVs, because I've been able to do some investigations in these accidents of the LPGs, and to some extent, the regulations that are there right now, we need to have a double wall of those containers or the cylinders. But I wanted to imagine a cylinder that is put underneath the PSV. My question is, what safety measures, extra safety measures are we putting so that in case of even a fatal accident, apart from the pressure release valves or those, so that we cannot puncture that cylinder, because it can be very fatal.
Thank you. So regarding LPG, indeed, safety is one concern for us. It's a major concern as OMC, and we definitely for us, just to open a bracket, currently revalidation is every 8 years, right?
Yes.
Requested by EPRA. But for all our Energy Kenya, we prioritize revalidation for the safety of our cylinders, so we do it more regularly, more frequently. Regarding the autogas, definitely there is a regulation. In autogas, there is a regulation which is done by EPRA, the regulatory, and which is very stringent and looking to each aspect for the safety, which is complying. But we have as well SHAMS, our safety and environment system, that as well look at each aspect and ensure that we are 100% compliant. Because for us, safety comes in priority before business. So we are taking all the regulation, but we have as well in our SHE policy more stringent rules and regulations that we need to follow. So we can, currently we are working with our partner to launch this autogas, but I will be glad to invite you once we inaugurate and do the cutting ribbon for our first autogas station, so that you can see all the safety standards and measures that are put in place in line with EPRA regulation, but as well with our SHE policy and standards. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Please, I'll just request you to rise. Has she done a wonderful job? Then you can clap better than that. Definitely you can do a better job than that. Want to thank you so, so, so much.
I thank you for thinking of my modest person to bring me to this Fire talk show. I'm really honored and glad to speak about energy, which is my passion, and here in a country that I adore like Kenya, and as well speaking CSRs. So if some Kenyans have CSR initiatives, please feel free to contact me as the GM of Ola Energy Kenya, but as well as Steering Drive, because I like helping others, and I think a lot of the private person, this is part of my core values. And as well, I would like to end this session to speak about something which is very important to me, which is women empowerment. So if you are women, leader, manager that want to grow, to thrive, don't think that this is not possible. This is possible. Every woman can be GM, can be entrepreneur, and can succeed. So please feel free to contact me so that I can help you and coach you. Thank you.
Wow, and that's how we bring this to an end. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We're going to hand this over to the MC. But again, Madam Siren Drive, we're going to be having you again. Next year we are having this expo probably outside of Kenya. But because it's still within the region, we'll go with you so that you can keep talking to us. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.